What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another weekly breakdown. So, a little late again to it this time. It was my fault. I just didn't record on Sunday. But it's going to be a little different this week. I actually didn't erase any of the drawings or any of the stuff that I drew up or the TAs on the charts just because it turns out the trades are still playing out. Some of them have hit and some are still in profit right now as we speak. So we're going to jump onto the chart and see what we see. All right. So starting with gold. Gold actually just hit, and that's beautiful. Just actually, no, I'm pretty sure. Actually, gold is the only one that I kind of erased, and I started doing a TA on my own, and that was the other day. So I believe that gold, yeah. So the TA for gold is probably over here. So most likely hit the stop loss on this one. I didn't take this trade because I was already done for the week when the trade actually paid out. But my TA for this one was, I say was because it kind of already started, and I don't really recommend anybody to get in unless the area gets retested again as a support area and it gets established again. With that said, I'll show you guys what that's going to look like, right? You're going to want gold to probably do something like this. Reject this area up here, come back down, respect the support area, and then break through. That's what you're going to want to be looking for right now. As it stands right now, it is Monday the 27th, 3:39 p.m. So New York Stock Exchange is about to close, so volume and volatility is going to start slowing down in the next hour or so. With that said, that's the only TA I have for gold. We could do a whole top-down analysis all over again. We did have our short position, which it's still a possibility, so I just left that up there so you guys can actually see the entries and whatnot of it. Yeah, nothing's changed with gold. If you take an outside perspective and you really zoom out, you're gonna realize that gold is just in this little range right here. That's not very pretty, but again, this has happened before, except it was even in a bigger range from 1890 all the way up to 2000. With that said, we're gonna be very cautious with our entries and make sure that our entries are in a high probability area where we could maximize profit and limit losses. So moving on to US30, I did not touch any of these, so this is all from the previous weekly breakdown. As you can tell, funny enough, this actually paid out perfectly, which is, pretty crazy. If you guys can just go back on the video, you guys are going to see that this is the same exact TA that I had last week, and it played out exactly how I wanted it to play out. And I'm actually in this trade as we speak, so this is a trade that I'm actually in. With that said, we're going to see if US30 can actually break out of this resistance area right here, or little range that's in. So this is a little area right here where I do have a TP2 set, just in case it gets rejected, in the sense that I'll be taking some profit out of this trade and leaving a little runner so I can capture the rest of the trade if it does continue to go that direction. On the 4 hour, you can still see that it's slowly but surely getting there. On the 1 hour, same exact thing. Once we came back, made this area a respected area, so our support level, and we were in drawdown just a little bit, but that's okay because at the end of the day, the odds are in our favor for this trade, in the sense that this is a 1 to 10 if it does play out. If it doesn't play out, then that's okay. Even if you were just to take this trade all the way up to here, it's still a 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 if you really round up. So nonetheless, I'm still very confident in this trade, and I wouldn't get into this trade right now. What I would do is wait for this to come up here, probably reject this area and establish support again, and then get back in and hopefully break out. But what we're going to actually do to see if there's any news events that could affect this TA is go on Forex Factory. Like I always tell you guys, I highly recommend to do this either before. Well, usually you want to do this before, you never want to do this after your TA, just for the fact that if you do it after, then everything's going to have to switch up if you have major news events coming up on the next day. So you want to do this and have this as a basis of your TA. So let's see, tomorrow the 28th, good trade balance, prelim wholesale inventories, CB consumer confidence. Okay, that's a little important. It's 10 a.m. Okay, let's see what we have for Wednesday. Nothing crazy. Thursday, okay, final GDP, that's important. Unemployment claims, very important. Okay, so it seems like we're clear to Wednesday, Thursday. So we do have room for this trade to continue going. Like I said, it's very possible for this trade to actually continue going all the way up to 32,800. and then possibly either stalling out here or coming back down and retracing. If it retraces, there's two areas that I would want to see it go to. Is right, if it stalls out here, does something like this. Ultimately, it could come back down here since this wasn't an area of resistance that is possibly getting established now, and then hopefully come back through and break through. So that's just something that we're looking for right now. I wouldn't mind adding a position if I do see that price holds above this area once it does this little pattern. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I will be taking partials up here. If it, well, not if, I am going to take partials up here. That way I limit my exposure. I'm just in pure profit. I'm just playing with the house's money essentially. Now, going on GJ, nothing's changed. GJ, we did lose this trade. That's basically all there is to be said about that. It did break past the support area. What I'm actually eyeing for this right here, and the reason that I didn't delete any of this stuff, so you guys can see I'm not lying, like losses do happen, and my TAs aren't perfect, like you're human, it happens, but nonetheless, we do have gold and US30 that are winning trades right now, and we are going to take a look at GJ, and I'll tell you right now what we want to happen, or what would be preferred to happen in order for us to get in. So we want to see it hit this resistance area up here and respect it so it can come back down here so we can get in for a buy. If we get in for a buy, that's basically just getting off a pullback right here, and then you have all of this to come back up. So it's essentially the same exact TA that we had first drawn up, but now we have more confirmation towards the upside because we did have a rejection on the downside. If you look at it daily, look at this beautiful wick right here. So we are in an ugly range, but if we can come down here to this area of interest and get in, and we could capture this whole entire move, I would most likely take partials here. Not even most likely, I will take partials here, so it'd be a 1 to 3, and then the big move would be a 1 to 4, 1 to 5. And that's where my head's at with GJ. I wouldn't really care to short GJ unless GJ has a major resistance area up here. And if that's the case, then that's perfectly fine. We will draw up a short position. It's going to be right. Oh, wrong one. Let's do a short position right here. And that's going to be a 1 to 7, even though it's a pretty tight stop loss. Yeah, that's exactly what I would want. So I'll leave that up so you guys can actually take a look at it. This is on the daily, so it is going to take some time for this to play out. Nonetheless, we want this little retracement right here for us to get in for a buy. And I'll still have the same exact stop loss just because I don't want too much drawdown. I don't like trades that I'm going to be holding like this, right? Because then that's a 1 to 2, 1 to 3. And it's just not really my thing. I'd rather not. I'd rather just play off of this support area right here. And if it breaks past it, then I'm no longer interested in it. Because every time it's broken past it, it's gone way down. And I just rather not get wicked out, or at least extend my exposure on this trade. It's just not really worth it in my eyes. Again, this is not like financial advice. This is all you guys. Whatever you guys want to do, whatever you guys deem fit, go for it. This is just my 2 cents on it and my TA off of my personal experience and the trades that I'm taking on the weekly. Now, on EU, we did capture this buy because the moment I caught this wick is I entered that trade, and that was beautiful because it literally went straight to TP with no hesitation whatsoever. And then price did come back down, and I didn't trade further that week. I only took 2 trades last week, which was my gold trade and my EU trade. And with with EU, let's delete this because this is no longer valid. Let's delete this because I don't like the short position anyways. And the reason I say I don't like the short position is because we failed to come even lower, right? Because we respect this resistance area up here, and we're going to continue with this bullish momentum, or at least that's the goal. And oh, sorry, wrong one. Keep getting confused. But what the hell? Am I tripping? Yeah. All right, I'm going crazy. Sorry. All right. So ultimately, the goal is going to be to see EU come all the way up here. And now you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't the bias change if the momentum shifted and came back down here? Yes and no, right? Because we could lose momentum here and then come back down and retrace the support area, and then we can continue going back up. But I'm going to give you guys a scenario that I like even better, which is what I'm hoping for it to happen in the next hour or two. Well, not hour or two, probably 4 or 5 hours. So tomorrow, New York Open, it could play out. So although you see price right here, the way I look at that is we could establish a support area right here. And if we do, then that's going to be beautiful, because then we give this some room. Let's say it consolidates a little bit, comes down here, holds price, and then comes back up. That is going to be way better than having price movement shift towards the downside and retest this area here. Even though it's still a possibility, and I'm perfectly fine with that, I much rather have this scenario, right? Because this scenario, even though it's not as beautiful as this, where you could capture a whole entire 1 to 7 or 1 to 8 possibly, this will continue with the bullish momentum, and we could still capture, depending on how tight you keep your stop loss, you can still capture 1 to 6 or 1 to 7, and this just has way more confidence than this, just due to the fact that price did not reject the upside completely. If price consolidates, that's perfectly fine. You're not really rejecting the upside like you did down here when it came down and it had a huge wick and rejected the downside. With the rejection of the upside just being a little slow consolidation and then continuing back up, it's exactly like saying you're going to go, let's say, jog 3 miles, and then you just end up jogging 2 miles, and you end up walking about a quarter of a mile just to continue and finish that 3 miles. It doesn't mean that you stopped going towards that direction. It just meant that you had to take a little break in between. And that's usually what consolidation all is. It just means that the market's taking a little break and a little breather before it continues its move ultimately. So this is going to be my TA for EU. And this is actually the trade that I really want to take. I'm a little late on it. If I missed it, I missed it. If I didn't, I didn't. And by didn't, I mean that price comes back down here and I could re-enter. Nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed these little weekly trade breakdowns. I know that I'm a little late to them, and I keep recording on Monday, and it kind of messes with the whole schedule, because instead of seeing it Monday 5 p.m., you guys end up seeing it Monday 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. And it's a little late, but nonetheless, these are still raw TAs that are valid and are made on a Monday, to where you could actually see where market sentiment is currently at. It's not like this is old market sentiment from Sunday, right, and the TA is no longer valid. This is still valid 100%, and I'm even drawing up the areas of interest for you guys to re-enter at. So hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section, or if you guys want to ask me any questions, feel free. There's a free link to my Telegram down below. It's a direct message to me, and then I'll answer them accordingly. So hope everyone has a great week. Hey guys, sorry for interrupting your video, but I just wanted to let you guys know, if you guys check the link in the description, I do have a private little link right there for you guys to have direct access to me through Telegram. It's not a bot, it's not some computerized assistant or anything. It's my personal Telegram link to where you can send me messages on any questions you guys have or other topics you guys want to talk about, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you guys. I'll try to respond to as many as you as possible. If I don't respond at the same time, just give me a couple minutes or an hour and I'll get to you accordingly. Now, also in the link in the description, I do have all the free Telegram, the signals chat. I do have the website where I offer all the services, and I also have a direct link to the free forex and stock market coursework, as well as crypto coursework.